All right.
Yeah.
Good evening. This is Tuesday, February 10th. Good God, 2026, meeting in the Town of Berlin Planning Board. As a preliminary matter, please note this meeting is being recorded and some of the attendees are participating by video conference. Um, This is Tom Sanford, Chair of the Planning Board. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipate, no, we'll do that later. All the members of the Planning Board are present and can hear me, and when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jay Teach,
Here.
Timothy Wheeler,
Yeah,
Carolyn McDonald,
Here.
Thomas Andrew.
Here.
With a quorum on the board present, I call this meeting to order at 7:32 p.m. Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. This is an open meeting of the planning board being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and general guidelines for the remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Berlin website. The governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location and allows and encourages us to participate remotely. For this meeting, the planning board is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, which includes links for the public to join this meeting. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. After their concluding remarks, I'll invite each board member by name to provide any comments, questions, penetrating insights, and/or motions. Please hold all your insights until your name is called. Board members and speakers, please remember to mute your telephone or computer when you're not speaking. Speak clearly to ensure accurate minutes are recorded. And for any response, please wait till you yield to the floor and state your name before speaking. If a board member wishes to engage in conversation with another, please do so through me to avoid multiple conversations happening at the same time. Lastly, please note that each vote in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Thank you all for your understanding and cooperation. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting.
I moved.
Second.
Any discussion, corrections, modifications? Seeing none, I'll ask you to vote. Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Aye.
Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all. Any other preliminary business?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I realized just when I was thinking about joining this meeting that I owe language for our annual report on the Solomon Pond Mall issue. And I will do that by close of business tomorrow.
Okay.
And I may have made a mistake and shared some language with Jay already. Did I?
Yeah, why was that a mistake? You got a prize for being the first and only.
And was that language on the mall, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do
Um,
you need something from me at this point?
why didn't Thomas look at that language and
Okay. Did you send it to me? I'm sorry. I've had a very busy couple of weeks and I may have missed it.
I think the email went to everybody because I saw it.
Okay. I
mine
will.
often bounce back from Thomas though, so
Now, just to be clear, Thomas, close of business tomorrow. Is that 5 midnight? Well, give me
Is that China time? Is
Yeah.
that
Global
Boston
winter
time?
time.
What
It
continent?
means effectively when I go to bed. But I think I can get it out in the afternoon, but certainly before I go to bed. But I need to look at what Tim did, and I may not need to do anything. So I will take a look at that promptly
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So without going back to our notes, does anybody remember who was assigned with the other remaining items? I think I had the ADUs in one other thing. Did you have anything, Carolyn?
Not.
No, I
had to
think
do I
the
had to
only-
do the conservation one.
I think it was
The only
three
thing-
individuals.
I thought there were 3 contributors for some
Did
reason.
I sent
Yeah,
something
you,
on
Tim,
the
and
mall
Jay.
and something else.
Thomas.
What's that? What'd you say, Tom?
I said it was you, Tim, and Thomas.
Oh, that's 3. You're right.
yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Ah.
So do you remember?
That's man, that's digital arts right there. I love it.
Right? Going old school.
Going old school digital. I love it.
Hey, I got a 1-year-old at home, so we're working on that kind of stuff. So I had ADUs and something else. So maybe it was probably the A&Rs or something like that. I can go back and look. It
Mm.
was 2 or 3 meetings ago that we carved
And
it up.
I just remembered I had a second thing, which was to give a couple sentences of comments on the special town meeting.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yep. So I'll take a look at what Tim did and do the special town meeting thing as well. Okay.
And what else did you do, Tim? You had something else, housing or something?
There were 2 things I included in there.
Yeah. I'll get back
But you
and-
guys are making me not feel so bad that I had spaced it out. So-
Well, it
Yes.
was a couple months ago, I think, that we.
Well, I think it was maybe a month ago, and then we had the kerfuffle with the intervening meeting when
I
I
think it
would have been
was-
reminded.
It wouldn't have been December. It would have been the January meeting, right?
Yeah,
January 13.
yeah, a month ago.
Here. In the reports, here we are. Thomas, Solomon Pond Mall, and warrant articles for Fall Town Meeting.
Yep.
Tim, EEA grant and rewrite of zoning bylaw.
EEA grant. Yeah, and I did the EEA grant
You did.
and the zoning bylaw, and then I threw in the mall stuff.
Okay.
And then you're also, it says Tim here,
Am I supposed to do the floodplain?
flood. You're supposed to be doing flood control, the flood control bylaw. Minor
All right.
modification.
Let me send you something on that.
Okay. And J, yeah, ABU bylaw and A&Rs and miscellaneous.
So Tim sent his email on January 27th. Just found it.
I
And
will. I don't have that computer open, but I'm sure it's there.
If someone
Okay.
could, Thomas is, when I send Thomas stuff, it bounces. So if you have it, Carolyn, can you send it to Thomas?
I can.
Because he probably won't get it from me.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I will review and edit if I feel necessary and circulate the mall thing, and I will also give I don't think it's more than 4 or 5 sentences on the special town meeting.
Okay. And I just sent that. I didn't even write a little note or anything, but
All
there it
right.
is.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Okay, wait a minute here. I can, no, I can check it on my iPhone. So.
It's an attachment. It's a
Yep.
Word attachment.
Yeah, no, but I can at least
Yep.
see it. Yep, it just came through, so I have it, and when I open up the other computer, I can get to the attachment. Great,
Awesome.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Number 2 on our agenda is to continue our discussion about the inclusionary zoning portion of our bylaw. Starting in 4 minutes. You can think about what you're going to say 4 minutes from now.
How's your better half, Jay? All recovered at this point?
Uh, yeah, we just have this thing that goes on in the house where the baby goes to daycare, collects a new disease every week, brings it home, gives it to Cindy. I run around
Totally.
wearing the mask and try not to get too close to her on those days.
Totally. I don't know if I told you guys the story that when I graduated from college and went to law school, I taught at Fessenden School, which was a boarding school. And when you're in college, you're in a very narrow, sort of age bracket of people you interact with. And when I started to teach, I got sick all the time. I was, I think, 21 at the time, and I thought, oh man, this is what happens when you get old. And until I realized that until I realized I was catching it from all these kids who were coming back from places like Venezuela and Guatemala and so on after the Christmas break. So
Well, the problem is that Eloise comes home with it and she's over it in a day or two, and for Cindy, it lingers forever.
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah. Oh well.
Gotta boost her vitamin C.
Yeah.
And cut down on the vitamin K, right?
Yeah. She's still, her hearing is a lot better, but still not
Oh man.
100%.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. Yeah, she's been pretty miserable. But the baby has other redeeming features that make it welcome.
Make it tolerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had COVID in November of 2020, and my nose is mostly back now,
Oh, wow.
but still
Wow.
not 100%.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got vaccinated just early as I could, and I ended up not getting it until around Labor Day of 2024. And by that time, having had several vaccinations and so on, it was like just for me, it was just a summer, like a moderate summer cold with a lot of being tired,
Yep.
and fortunately, no other symptoms. So it's a crazy thing, But
Yeah.
if you caught it as early as you did, that was
That was
during
like
the
the
virulent
OG.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
was
I've
glad
never gotten it since.
yeah, and I was glad I finally caught it, so I could, like get the T-shirt. I got COVID. I got to be 3/4 of the way through 2024 without getting it.
I was just listening to a podcast today about long COVID, and people who have never had it, they call them novids.
I love it. And if you haven't gotten it and you're vaccinated, are you a Novavax COVID?
Right. Something.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. We were really careful with the farm because we had to keep going, we had to
Mm.
have work, and we grouped people and wore masks when we need to, and we're kind of did everything we were supposed to do. And there were family members of the people working for us, back home in Brazil and wherever, that were dying, but we never had anybody get seriously ill that whole time.
Mm.
That's awesome. Yeah.
The vaccines and trying to keep things floating through the air from getting into your nasal passages does work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff though that Eloise brings home from daycare is communicated by touch though. It's different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, everything goes in their mouths.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it was funny because when we first returned to the office after COVID, I saw a guy who works for compliance on my floor, and I said, I remember the last time that we were standing here, and it was like within a week of when everything closed down. I said it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd been to like 3 meetings and washed my hands 5 times. And I
Yep.
said, we were standing next to each other, breathing on each other, washing our hands. And I said, I remember saying to you, my hands have never been so freaking clean in my life.
Or
But
is dry.
yeah, but it shows you how little we knew at that time,
Well, I thought what was so silly about that is there was very strong evidence that it was airborne, right? There were some articles I'd read where the people had done, accurate enough studies to really demonstrate that it was airborne. But I think that telling people to wash their hands made them feel better because they felt like there was something they could do about it.
Sure.
They didn't want to wear
Mm,
masks back then. Nobody did, right?
mm.
And it's tough because you got to get public opinion and shift it over towards the right, treatment
It,
for the problem.
yeah, totally.
A lot
Yep.
of it just didn't ever happen. Yeah.
But we've covered the dead air, I think, lovely, and it's
Yeah, right.
7:45. Yeah, it's great. It's great to catch up.
So we want to segue into our inclusionary zoning discussion?
On the agenda.
Absolutely. So do we have an acceptable bylaw, or was ours was rejected, right?
Um,
Ours is fine.
Ours is
Are you
fine.
talking about the ADU bylaw or
I'm talking about the ADU, yeah. Well, this is including.
it
Okay.
was, no, it needs to have a minor change, or did we already do that? It had-
ADU does, and we can talk
Yeah.
about that.
It was
I've got
about
I've got a proposal for that,
yeah, it's about the ferry terminals and
right?
Did we
yeah.
delete
Mhm.
the ferry terminals?
I left it out because it didn't apply, but it turns out
Sure.
you have to have it in there. Because you never know, we may
Put a ferry in
Yeah.
Gates Pond.
That's
the water
right.
keeps rising with global
yeah.
warming, we may have a ferry terminal.
Yeah, I was going to ask Tim if there was a ferry on Wheeler Pond that I wasn't aware
Yeah.
of. That,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a side paddle wheeler.
yeah, very shallow draft.
Yeah, so I think it's only a sentence or two that we need
I have a proposal for that later if you under new business.
Okay,
Okay,
but that's the inclusionary zoning is something that's been in there for decades, right? Long before me.
So, Ron Barron sent a note in response to a series of comments that Lisa made from the Housing Trust in regard to the inclusionary zoning bylaw. And he said that in a report done a year and a half ago or so, an evaluation of inclusionary zoning bylaws throughout the state said that 60% of the inclusionary zoning bylaws in communities had produced no affordable units. However, our inclusionary zoning bylaw has produced, technically 30, but on paper, 90.
How's
So
that?
I read it again and said, huh.
The apartments.
And
Oh, I
over
see.
55s and, so
But the apartments, was that was that the way the bylaw was written with the over six, every six you have to have an affordable one, or was there some kind of deal negotiated with those guys?
I mean, they came through with a LIP with 84 units that were part of a LIP that successfully 21 were affordable, and that, you know, the 25% that's usually required in a LIP. And
Oh,
so they realized they couldn't escape it, and they negotiated and came up with a plan. And we know that Vinicasa had no intention of building any affordable units in his project at Highland Ridge, but ultimately did, and there's 9 units there.
really?
Yep. Yeah,
And
because he tried to do
an
Oh, he
exchange.
tried to
an
do
ex
anything. Oh my
he
gosh.
tried to do anything, right? He was throwing stuff at the wall towards the end.
I'll build you an apartment building. I mean, there's all kinds of
Yeah,
crap.
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the handicap access or whatever.
So the problem with the bylaw is still with the small subdivision project that comes in with fewer than 5 units or fewer than 6 in order to avoid the requirement. So at some point, and I think the Housing Trust is trying to think about this, as is Ron Barron, we'd add language that would try to make some modification. But the trust still feels that inclusionary zoning units need to be included in projects and not, unless there's an unusual circumstance, bargained away from the project that's being built and, you know, put into some swamp in some piece of land that the town's taken from tax title. So I think that's the position that they'd like us to pursue. And because the language is producing and has produced affordable units, I guess I don't think we need to abandon it immediately, but because I thought, you know, it'd be nice to do something for this town meeting, but I mean, we can't. We're not prepared to.
Yep.
Well, do we have the ability to negotiate that requirement on a case-by-case basis, or what happens?
Not yet.
Uh-uh.
And that would be something that you'd want to look into. But again, it may very well be a negotiation where you say, you don't have to build the unit, but we want the house lot. And we're going to give it to the trust, and the trust will find a suitable builder like Habitat to bid on it. And so then the loss to you is, you know, the cost of one house lot, but you don't have to build a
affordable-
25,000 square foot
Yeah.
house for $1 million and sell it for 3.25, you know.
Right.
And the other thing that occurs to me, again, with the smaller units that currently get under the limbo bar, is some kind of monetary compensation.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of I like the idea of a lot. I think the other thing we should consider, you know, again, for those small units where the contribution makes a big fiscal impact, you know, maybe also look at a monetary contribution to the housing trust.
In addition
Uh,
to the lot.
At this point, I would say and or we ought to consider that as a package. You know, maybe it is and or. Um, I actually hadn't thought of the lot thing, but thinking about it ahead of time, I had thought about a monetary contribution being a way to capture some contribution of the smaller developments.
Yeah, the problem with that is the housing trust with CPA doesn't really lack funding. It lacks land.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It lacks a place to put affordable units. So I imagine most people would do the in lieu of And how much can you really ask them to do in lieu of? I think the lot to the town would be more valuable.
Well,
Yeah, no,
what is
I like it. I hadn't thought of that possibility, and I was thinking some way to get the touch on them. But I do like the lot possibility.
Yeah.
I think that taking a lot out of especially these high-end developments, which is what's getting built now, it's more than just the price of the lot. You know, the
Yeah.
developer now can't earn a profit on 1/6 of his units, right? It has a kind of broad effect on the person's business. Makes it pushes it also takes that value. It basically, who's paying for that is the people that are buying those other houses, right? So you're taking
Hmm.
a group of 5 people and making them pay for $1 million house for somebody, for one person.
But it isn't $1 million house anymore. It's a house that's built by Habitat that's maintainable by the person that buys it. Because
And
they can't afford a house that's 75% of the size of the units that are in these new subdivisions. They couldn't afford to maintain it once they owned it.
But you're going to put a whatever
Yeah,
but
2,000.
there's
house in the
there's
middle
no
of
limit. It's not a 5 house limit anymore.
Sorry, what I
What do you mean?
didn't follow that one. Yeah.
It so right now it's 6 lots, one of them's affordable, right? So
Every 6 lots.
what if you had 10 lots?
Yeah, then the
Now
formula
you've got
says it's one and a percentage, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know,
it doesn't it's not limited to 5 lots.
yeah. But we added the CPA, so we put a 3% additional tax on everybody, right? And that's producing a fair amount of money for affordable housing that's got a lot more flexibility in it. Do we
But there's
still
no
need,
place to build an affordable house.
well, there's,
I have done this exercise with Lisa. We have driven around town to available lots.
yeah,
And the tax title land that the town has, every single one of them has problems
Yeah.
as far as building an affordable unit, like massive site work, and there's just not there's nothing available.
so one of the things, I was talking with Richard Hanks about this for a while, and one of his suggestions, there's a number of suggestions for how to create more affordable housing, but it's not getting done. And one idea is to create another zone, create places in town where you can build at higher density. Because density is what gets the cost down, right?
But the whole point of the inclusionary bylaw is to not create a poor section of town.
Yeah. Although, one of the things as we were talking, I was thinking about was if we had a bylaw that said you could do either multiple buildings or multiple unit buildings on the land that was contributed via the mechanism we just talked about, that would be a way to further leverage that accessible land acquisition. You with me?
But you're gonna put multifamily housing in the middle of a million to
$1 million
$2 million.
houses.
Yeah.
And
And I mean,
Are you telling me that somebody who buys $1 million house doesn't want to live like next to poor people? Come on.
That's exactly
But
what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
no. I mean, I again, we're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall here. But you know, to do a higher, maybe it's single family houses, but maybe it's a higher density that allows you to do two on a lot or three
Well,
on a lot. But
yeah, but
uh,
that goes back to our cottage housing option, which,
yeah.
I still think we could find in the right parcel opportunity to pursue that. We see it in Carlisle, we see it in Lancaster, we see it in Concord, and the builders are out there, and I think we could do a sort of a forum sometime where we got maybe the Board of Health and the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, ZBA, and somebody from Central Mass to sort of host a session where we brought in a couple folks that have successfully done this in some other communities and just brainstorm about, the housing trust too, and then brainstorm about how we want to modify the inclusionary zone bylaw so it suits a variety of needs across the spectrum.
The other possibility would be, again, focusing on these five or less, that you give them a density bonus that, you only need 3/4 of the lot size and so on.
Yeah,
Um,
that meeting that session I went to at the CM RPC, the workshop we went to, that was one of the suggestions.
mm,
The density bonus. Yep.
yeah, I mean, so, if you did a package, it was a density bonus, because what I'm hearing here and learning tonight is, what we need is land and not money. And then, combine that with the idea of a greater density the on the land where the town is the beneficiary of the bylaw, might be a very effective structure.
Yeah.
Well, there's land. So we tried to get the thing to go at the gravel pit, right?
Mhm.
Which I think is a lot like what we're saying we want. It was kind of mixed sizes and costs, nothing super expensive and dense enough that it was affordable, right? And nothing's going on down there that I can see, so I don't know where that's heading. But then there's the lot next to the Boundless Adventures, right? Doesn't the town
Yes.
buy that? Why wouldn't that be? And
Right.
Richard thought that was a great spot too. You got the well and maybe
Yep.
even septic system.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
couldn't we?
there's a whole bunch of issues still with that
Oh, really?
that we're working on. But yeah, do you want me to explain all the issues?
Sure.
The town still hasn't bought it
Oh,
because there is a conservation restriction on half of that land that the town holds. The town cannot own the land and hold the conservation restriction at the same time.
wow.
So we are working with Sudbury Valley trustees, but they want the restriction. They want Boundless Adventures to be cut out of the CR, the land that is covered by the CR, and replaced with other land because they view Boundless Adventures as
Hmm.
as an encroachment on the CR. And the town wants to modify the CR to be able to use the wells. None of that can happen. No modification by the town can happen until the town owns the land. So we are working with Sudbury Valley trustees for them to hold the CR as it is.
Yeah.
And with an agreement by all parties that after the town owns the land, we will modify the CR. Or
That's one of the-
actually, SVT will modify the CR because they will then be the holders of it.
But they're
Yeah.
not going to
And
chase Boundless Adventures away, are they?
no, we're just right now, the parking lot and the building for Boundless Adventures is not on the conservation land, on the restricted land, but the in the air ropes course is. And
So Sudbury Valley is unwilling to allow isn't that, don't we consider that passive recreation?
we do.
They don't.
Correct.
I mean,
So
you had a CR with Ronnie Wheeler that maybe wasn't held by anybody. No, they got thrown to the state, didn't it?
it got correct, but
I mean, you weren't
there is
happy
no
with it, but it had a driving range on
right, but there is no and that was allowed at the time.
Hmm.
And the town holds that conservation restriction. The environmental value of it, of a piece of property that SVT will hold CR on, there's certain criteria that needs to be met. And having a ropes course in that land, in the CR is not doesn't meet their value, their kind of
criteria.
their criteria.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
But if I wanted to farm a piece of CR land that was held by Sudbury Valley, they'd swallow that.
If the CR was written in a way that allowed that, yeah.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't,
No, but that's what I'm saying. My farming is far more destructive than what the ropes course does.
I agree. But the property itself doesn't hold a lot of environmental value to begin with, and they're kind of doing this to help us out of a bind. So they're trying to I think make it as pristine as possible. Because we cannot own that land without somebody holding the CR.
Right.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Without a land trust, actually.
Right.
So we could try to find another land trust and go through, start all over again. But we have the year deadline. This has to be done by, unless we want to go to town meeting yet again to modify the agreement yet again, this all has to be done by December of 26.
Okay.
So it's been so much fun, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does sound like a lot of fun. And Carolyn, if you ever want to talk to somebody about it, I'm happy to do it, having had experience with Sudbury Valley trustees and being on Conservation Commission for a long time.
Thank you. It really, the lawyers and Kristen came up with this very super duper convoluted thing. And I finally was like, can't you just buy it? Like, can't you just hold the CR as it is? And then we'll do all of this after we own it. And everyone went, huh, maybe we could.
Happy to strategize with you, but it does strike me as though those are issues that are issues.
Yeah.
And they have to be settled. But looking at what we were just talking about, once they are settled,
Sure.
it seems like there is land there that is available for affordable housing.
Right.
There is some, yeah. It's not a ton.
Do you have any
because
sense of how many acres? Because it's been a long time since I looked at that
I know,
plan.
I would,
Well, I thought when we looked at it, we thought there were 5 or 6 that might be
that's
available.
right,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that could mean, 8 or 10 units.
Right. Or under cottage housing bylaw, maybe more.
Yeah. Anyway, good stuff
Anyway.
for us to consider as we do a rewrite of the zoning bylaw.
Yeah. I don't have the agenda in front of me. What is our
So
next?
Seth Donahoe is next.
At what time?
8:50.
8.
Okay, Seth is here,
Mhm.
patiently listening to us for 10 minutes, talk about other things. Should we
Sure.
table this until
Yes,
after?
because I don't think we're going to solve it.
Yeah, no, I think we've had a good discussion, and sorry to delay the person on the agenda.
Good evening.
Oh, Seth,
Hey,
how are
Seth.
you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
So quick introduction, just for the record, Seth Donahoe with Dillis and Roy. I'm here tonight on behalf of Mr. Mark Rhodes for a reconfiguration of a lot line via an A&R plan. Do you need the screen popped up, or do you guys have paper copies?
Can you pop it up on the screen for all of us, please?
It is coming right up. All right. So hopefully what's before you is the submitted A&R plan. And a couple months ago, you guys endorsed the plan creating lot A, B, C, and the remaining land of D off of Randall Road. And I'm before you tonight for a reconfiguration of the rear portion of lot B. And I color coded one for you real quick. The red lot line was the original. The green is the new. So there's no change in frontage or area to what you previously approved. We just swapped land from Lot D and Lot B to get the exact same area and the exact same frontage that was previously approved. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions?
What's the difference between lettered lots and numbered lots?
So they were the true answer is that Mr. Rhodes did not want to develop lot A, B, C, and D immediately as he was working through this process. So we did the original A&R plan. I believe it was middle of last year, and that created lots 1 through 4. And then for financing reasons, his lender required him to have the remaining land actually approved into the 4 additional lots. And because we had started with lot 1 in the middle, we thought it would be very confusing to have lot 6, lot 7, and then lot 1. So we went to a letter configuration on it. And based on your question, maybe the letter configuration was confusing as well. So
So here's the problem. If we look at section 371, any project that results in a net increase of 6 or more dwelling units, whether by new construction or by alteration, expansion, reconstruction, or change of existing residential and non-residential space, kicks in the inclusionary zoning bylaw. And in 735.1, it says projects shall not be segmented or phased to avoid compliance with these provisions. So we initially approved the 4, and then the additional ones, it appears that they've tripped the inclusionary zoning bylaw. So that means that enough there has to be a marketing plan and the compliance with the inclusionary zoning section of the bylaw, it seems to me. So some affordable unit has to be included in the project. So the construction of the affordable units will be provided coincident with the development of the market rate units. So the market rate units up to 30% of the units can be built before any affordable units are built. But when you go beyond 30%, then you have to begin to include affordable units. So I'm wondering whether it's advisable to approve this plan at this time, given the fact that we haven't had the conversation about this affordability issue.
I would suggest that the participant go back to Mark Rhodes and indicate that if we approve this, it's the opinion of the board that it would activate the affordable unit condition.
How many building permits have been issued so far?
I believe 2.
Right.
And don't quote me on that. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and as Mr. Andrew has mentioned, this is something we did the A&R plan. I think Mr. Rhodes will want to have a conversation with you about the applicability of this, especially on an A&R configuration.
So it seems that we need to notify the building inspector that we believe, if we do believe, that there's the segmentation of the parcel was a little confusing, but it's apparent now, it seems, that there's 6 or more units, and that the building inspector needs to be advised that he can only issue building permits if a marketing plan is put into place and all that sort of stuff.
With all due respect, though, I don't think there was anything confusing about it. The plans that have been endorsed have never shown anything except the complete configuration of the lots, even though they went to a lettering configuration and a number configuration. I'll pull up plan 960.
No, I think you.
Right. So the 8 have always been the intention.
Right. It's just that.
Well, they were not the intention originally. The financer forced
Right.
that on the applicant, but what I'm saying is that the plans that we've brought to the board, we did the original 4, and then when it became 8, we always showed 8 lots
Yeah.
on the plan.
Right.
No,
And
I
we-
agree
It
with
wasn't
that.
like we omitted a
No,
single
no,
portion of
we're
the
not
property.
suggesting bad faith.
No.
We're suggesting that there's an issue as this thing is developed
Yeah.
that has arisen, and we need to have further conversations before we take further actions on subdividing the land. And let me put it out to the board. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think there's a wrinkle here that we just need to clarify somehow with the conversation, probably with Mark.
So Mark is not available tonight.
No, clearly. And I don't think anybody would be prepared to talk about all of this tonight anyway, if he was available. But I think we should defer this and schedule another discussion after we talk to Mark.
Yeah, so when he's back in the area, I can tell him what the board's prerogative is on this, and then we can reach out through Jay or your planning board email address to get on the agenda and have the conversation related to that.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to imply there was any. I was just saying we we weren't paying attention to the fact that the two submissions actually kicked the trigger.
Yeah. No. As I said, we're not suggesting any kind of bad faith in this, but there are issues that are there, and we need to discuss them.
So I'm sure the applicant will be happy to do that. So I will let him know. And for tonight, we can certainly table the plan that's before you at this time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
All right, then I will perhaps see you in the near future. But
I'm,
if not,
I'm sure you will.
maybe for something else.
Yeah. All
We
right.
never know.
Yeah, never know. I might get sent back. So have a pleasant evening.
I've seen you a lot
Thank you.
recently, Seth.
Yeah, 2 times.
I know, right?
Take care.
Take care,
Good
Seth.
night.
Night.
Nice job. All righty, so we've now moved into our lightning round of the planning board meeting for our 2026 goals.
Yeah, you all wrote those up and you're going to present them now, right?
Well, I think they're easy, aren't they? I mean, we have to rewrite the zoning bylaw and settle the Solomon Pond Mall issue.
And
If we can close,
and address, as we discussed a lot earlier, the affordable housing issue.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I wrap that right into the rewrite of the zoning bylaw. I mean, we've assigned that task.
But-
We've said to the Housing Trust, give us some thoughts, and I'll forward to you the letter I got from Lisa, which is a 3 or 4 page synopsis of their position on what's in the bylaw now and what Jane Wyrick had suggested needed to be attended to and stuff like that in terms of the inclusionary section.
All right.
They also comment on the sort of cottage housing question, multifamily dwelling question, and ADU and apartments, which were all wrapped into the parts of the bylaw rewrite that they needed to address. So I'll send that around.
No, I think, but I would urge that in addition to the rewrite of the zoning bylaw, which has an administrative cast to it, that we also have a goal of, issue oriented to the affordable housing. That was all I was saying.
And I think Carolyn wants us to look at stormwater management and low impact development as new sections.
Okay.
100%. I did listen to the select board meeting last night because, why not? And
What was your cable? Your cable was out?
yeah, right. Exactly. So I'm sure everyone's aware that Kristen's leaving. Actually, it will be the end of this month, according to what I heard last night. And the interim was hired last night. And because there is so much on the interim's plate, one of the things that I heard, that they had a list of 46 projects in town, and they prioritized 15 of them for the interim, and one of those was not the rewrite of the bylaws. So our stuff may take long enough that it won't matter, but
we don't, with all due respect,
I'm just passing on what I heard.
We've always tended to these issues ourselves and would continue to do so, I would imagine. We'd need town council at some point, but
Right.
Yeah, I
I don't-
agree.
I
It
don't think-
shouldn't be on the
it's not a select board or
or
town
the admin.
administrator issue.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would also caution Carolyn that we shoot messengers as well as those who originate the bad news, but you know.
You mean you're going to put me out of my misery?
No, thank you for
But
that.
yeah, I did just want
I
to.
wasn't aware of that. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So initially they talked about 11 projects. They've got it to 15 now.
So and again, I was doing other things while I was listening. And some of that was like prepare the draft warrant,
Right,
those kind of things.
and do the budget.
And do the budget. So,
Hmm.
I don't know how many of those 15 were really like
Heavy.
larger projects.
Well, finish the
Mhm.
fire station. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
handle the radio communication package
Yeah.
changes
Yep.
and stuff like that. So,
No, which is all what we expect. Yeah.
right. So if I listened to the meeting, would I be able to identify the 15, or is
They
that's-
didn't list
Yeah.
every one of them.
I know when they listed the 10 or 11, they didn't list them all. And so I think transparency argues that that list ought to be available
Public.
to all of us pretty soon, because it may impact the way in which any of the different committees in town do their work.
Right. And I
So
do know they
maybe
did.
then ask Jay to send a note to the selectmen to say, we understand you have 15 prioritized projects. In order for us to coordinate what we're doing and what resources we have, can you give us a list?
You'd assume that the Solomon Pond Mall needs to be on that list, but it'd be nice to know.
Yeah, but
Right.
can we start by having Jay send that note?
Yeah, I like that. It's snow on the ground, Jay. You can't ride horses anyway,
Got
Mm,
snowshoes on them.
I'm in my summer house up at the lake right now because at 9:30 last night, I got an email saying the temperature inside was 33 degrees and dropping.
You do this every
Ugh.
year. This is hocus pocus.
And I finished at 3
You've
a.m.
got some trick thermometer up there that's telling you have to come up regardless.
These
On what-
oil burners,
on
they
what
know
lake is-
when
on
to
what-
fail.
On what lake is your lake house?
Winnipesaukee,
Mm,
2 hours away.
yeah.
You do
I
this
called-
every year,
I
Jay.
called 4 people to see if they'd come deal with it, and nobody answered the phone.
I know
Yeah,
it's-
sure.
Jay,
I know it's probably too late to tell you this, but Lake Winnipesaukee is not the Caribbean of New England.
Well,
I know. I was just going to ask you to put your hand up, but that didn't seem to work. Oh, there
There you go.
there you're back.
it's AI. It's the AI. It's haunted.
Yeah, curse you, AI.
Well,
And was
um,
the heat? Was it really 33 degrees in there?
Oh, wow.
Oh, what happened?
well, I realized halfway up at half an hour into my 2-hour drive north with all my tools and parts and all this stuff that I've got heat pumps all over for air conditioning that it turns out actually work when it's cold out enough to help out till I could get the other thing repaired. But it was still 3:30 when I went to bed.
Wow.
And then I had meetings in the morning and all that. So unfortunately, I have a little work to do on my missing, let's see what I was supposed to do, ADU and A&Rs. So
What's the drop dead deadline on that stuff?
Well, it was
2
supposed to
weeks
be-
ago.
Yeah, it's already.
Yeah, no,
it's
I
supposed to be
know
end of
that.
January,
That's
but
why
it's-
it said drop dead, not the official.
last year it was in early March that it got so intense that if we didn't get it done, it was going to be left out.
I mean,
Okay.
Dee sent a letter to you today saying, hurry up.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I think
The next week could be good, right?
we should get it done.
Yeah.
I'm willing to reach out
My
to,
bandwidth is tough right now.
I'm willing to reach out and ask them for their list of 15.
Okay.
That'd be great. I'll put that
And,
down.
and I will also do what I'm, at an appropriate time, I'll also submit a warrant article, which we'll vote on in a little bit.
And that's the ADU one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else that we want to throw in there?
I don't think we're ready.
No, I
How
don't think
about,
so.
how about our tin cup out for some money for
Oh, yeah.
master planning?
But that's, yeah, that may not be well, yeah. It's been included as a warrant article, hasn't it?
Yes,
I meet with the finance committee tomorrow night.
ask them how they want to handle it.
Okay. What do you want? 15 again?
I was thinking either 15 or 20.
Maybe I'll ask for 15 if that's all right.
Why don't you start at 20?
Jesus. What are you guys, you're throwing me to the wolves here. Yeah, they're gonna say, welcome. How are
I
you
might
today?"
have to watch FinCom tomorrow night
Yeah,
too.
right.
Well, don't let them read the minutes because it's going to say we need 15, but we're asking for 20.
Yeah.
Or the tape.
Right?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. And remember, they will not have looked at the video between
Yeah,
now and
right.
then. So,
Right.
yeah.
I think the warrant, are you ready for a warrant article?
Yeah.
Are we
I think
done,
all it has
Finish
to
our
say
goals?
is,
done with
I
our
think-
goals?
Are we done with our goals?
I
I'm putting
am.
my same goals back on that I put on every year.
Yeah.
Make it not look like it's Appalachia when we pull into the town from the entrance to the the entrances to the town.
Yeah.
You ready to cough up money to buy the place then, Jay?
I think you should.
Well,
I bet you
what-
can get a bargain.
we're not making any progress finishing River Bridge, and when did it start?
Oh, eons ago.
Yeah.
Well, that lot has now been sold.
Oh, it has.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that a couple months ago. I think it
Okay,
was
wasn't
like
sure that it
November.
Yeah.
At close,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Well,
now,
Well, so whatever it is, I think just what can we do to try to encourage, help, whatever, require that they finish it, right?
Yeah.
And then at the other entrance to town, I don't know what you do with that. I mean,
I think you should buy it. Buy it and restore the house.
you know what the new price is, right?
I don't.
$1 million,
Oh, no, it went up.
isn't it? I think it's $1 million, and there's no one there's just been
No,
quoted.
no one's
No
ever
one's
going to
gonna
buy
touch
that.
that.
No.
$1 million
It's not
bucks.
worth
No.
that.
No,
You
No,
can't do anything with it.
I thought someday it was going to be 100 and I would have bought it. But
Yeah.
beyond that,
Make them an offer.
it's two single-family building lots on a busy road, right?
Yeah.
But it's not even.
No.
It's not even two single-family building
Oh,
lots.
it's not?
No,
No.
between the conservation restriction and the wetlands,
Right.
Yeah.
it is one house.
Yeah.
You mean because of physical limitations, because obviously
Correct.
Yeah.
the protected land can count as part of the building lot.
Yeah.
Sure, but the way the CR is, it really just carves out one lot, one house lot.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
there-
So
yeah.
maybe we put up a sign that says "Welcome to Berlin, the northernmost extent of Appalachia."
Well, I understand why we don't want to rezone it, but if that were to happen, would that get it at least get someone to buy it and clean it up?
we could put a wall up just on the other side of it and pretend it's East Berlin.
Oh, God.
And
Hey.
and we could get maybe we could get East Berlin to pay for it.
Yeah, right.
Only if East Berlin is willing to rezone the gas station to commercial again.
Okay.
instead
We-
of residential agricultural.
But does
Okay.
it,
So there
yeah, I
may
mean,
there
does
may be a
something like that
wall
make
in our
sense?
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
Does
Jay?
something like that make sense? I don't know. I
Yeah.
was thinking at one
Yeah,
time
it-
that maybe it would be a great spot for a EV charging station until the guys that wanted to upgrade the mobile station came in and told us about how terrible a business that is. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the electricity rates during the day for those things are so expensive, you can't make money on the.
Yeah, especially in
Public bus.
Berlin. Berlin's electricity is expensive here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's
for some
amazing
reason,
what
when
my
you're,
daughter spends in Salem compared.
Oh, you got the power plant right there.
Yeah, it's like her electric bill in December is like $28. And
I thought everybody was 3,000. It's not.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Did you notice
Well,
how your
you know,
lights on
yeah,
cold nights
you
your
got
lights
those.
dim?
You
That's
got
our
those.
water heaters. Yeah.
You got those quarter receptacles in your barn that people can pay into, right?
Yeah,
I
for the
remember
heat.
that when for the heat. Oh, is the heat electrical?
No, the entire riding arena has got tubes up above that are radiant heaters.
Ah,
And Barry put
so
3
those
little
quarters do not go
coin
to your
boxes
building.
in that would run them, and we've never turned them on. I'm afraid they'll
No,
go.
no, no. It was a joke that I wondered if those quarters went to your electrical bill. That's
We put them in the coin op laundries afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion that we include a warrant article that would read something like, I move that the town vote to delete section 506C. At least one parking space shall be provided exclusively for each PADU.
Is that what the
Sorry.
state is requiring?
That's what the state said.
Oh, is that right?
Sorry. What's PADU? I'm sorry.
Primary accessory dwelling
Hmm.
unit
It's
Oh, gotcha.
or principal or
Protected.
Okay, no.
Protected is the word.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so say that again now that I understand what it means.
I'm going to find the Attorney General's piece
So they
here.
don't want, so we can't require that there's parking for an ADU. Is what
Right.
Okay.
We had included under vehicle access and parking, section 506, number C, at least one parking space shall be provided exclusively for each PADU. And if I look at the, where is it? The Attorney General's response to the town. Sorry, this is taking me so long.
No worries.
They said, under Article 22, the town voted to amend its zoning bylaw regarding accessory dwelling units by adding a new section. Article 5, Section 500, protected use accessory dwelling units to allow ADUs as of right in compliance with general law. We partially approve Article 22 because the approved text does not conflict with state law. However, we disapprove and delete section 506(3) parking space requirement for ADUs because it conflicts with general law 40A and the regulations and that's it.
Gotcha.
In this
So-
decision, we summarized the bylaw under Article 22, the town voted to amend, and so they just want us to strike that piece, and then the ADU bylaw is hunky-dory with them.
Right, but we also have to do the ferry terminal
Right.
station thing.
Where are you getting that?
I thought that was in the decision that we got back from them.
The ferry terminal.
Yeah.
Thank you,
part
Jay.
of-
That
Trying to
was
remember.
just what I was thinking of. We may need to roll this into one motion.
I'm trying to remember exactly what that said.
Was that in the ADU thing?
It's in the state model bylaw, and I did not carry that forward into our bylaw because we don't have train stations and ferry terminals, but they want it in there.
I'm going to read this again, but I don't see that.
Interesting.
All right.
Hmm.
Do we have enough time?
We've got till the 20, we would meet again,
I think
On
we
the-
meet again the night after the
right?
warrant
So it's the night
closes.
before we meet again.
Right.
Yeah, the 23rd, and we
Okay.
meet the 24th.
The use of land or structures, accessory dwelling units, more than one off-street parking space regulations. Oh, the regulations define so in addition, so minimum parking requirements. More than one additional on-street or off-street parking space for protected use ADU if all portions of lots are located outside of the 0.05 radius of a transit station. Any additional on-street or, so that just says that that's what triggers it. I don't think we have to include language that talks about transit stations, subway stations, commuter rail, ferry terminal, or bus station. The regulations
Thought we did.
define those and further define each of these terms, including the term bus station. Because section 506(3) requires all ADUs to provide one additional off-street parking space, including a protected use ADU that is located within 0.05 mile radius of a transit station, this provision conflicts with general law, chapter 40A, and we therefore disapprove it as shown, and the town can require.
Yeah, so
In
we can
addition-
require a parking space, but not if it's within a half mile of one of those three things, right?
Right.
But it's
So-
not. But it's not.
But
So
it's
why
not,
are they
so we-
disapproving it?
So what Jay is saying is we could include that language if we included all this other language.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
what
we
I'm
need to,
saying
I
is
think. Yeah.
maybe
Well,
we
either-
just, can we
Either
just
that or
make
we
it,
have to say we don't require a parking spot, which I don't think is the right thing to do, right?
right. So we either
Yeah,
don't
uh-huh.
require the parking, or we can require the parking with talking
all
about
this
ferry
other hocus
terminal.
pocus?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is what we should do, because you know.
let me look at that again and
People building these things with no place to park.
so I'll
I-
make a
agreed.
motion. I'll make a motion that we approve an addition to the zoning bylaw that meets the requirements of the Attorney General's letter that's would allow us to require one parking space in those situations where the distance to the ADU and one of those transit station issues is greater than half a mile.
Yep.
So we'll put that language together
I'll second that.
and then we'll get it on the
Yeah, it
books.
requires
Okay.
one parking space except where the PADU is located within half a mile of those
Yep.
things.
Good.
Right.
All
Yep.
right, I
Sounds
missed
good.
that. I like that.
So
Thanks.
you'll write that.
I'll do that up. Yeah, and I'll get
Okay.
it to him but I'll run it around to everybody ahead of time.
So do we need to vote on that tonight? I
Yeah,
think
we
Yeah.
should.
we do,
Yes.
yeah.
And then town council will look at it and,
Yeah.
they can say, and so there'd be a lot of chances to edit it. It just, at
Yeah.
least we'll have a placeholder.
No, I think that's great.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Good Lord, I hope not.
We understand what we're voting on. What'd you say?
I said, good Lord, I hope not.
All right, being none, I'll ask you to vote. Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Aye.
and Tom Sanford. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Excellent.
And so that's the ADU.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do a motion for the money. Should we
Mm-hmm.
vote on that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We propose 15,000 for the
For the ask?
ask for the
For the continuation of
Master
our
plan.
master
Master
plan.
plan.
Sorry, yes, I was
Yep.
looking for the words. Yep.
I make a motion that we submit a warrant article asking for $15,000 to continue our master plan work.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask you to vote. Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Aye.
and Tom Sanford. Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Excellent. Any other warrants, articles we should throw on there? Housekeeping, anything like that?
That's what I'm aware of.
We want to maintain our $2,000 expense. Or
Budget.
what is it, 1,000 now?
Yeah, I got knocked back to 1,000 a long time ago.
So 1,000. We just want to make sure that's still on there.
Right.
Wait a minute, we raised our rates. We should get more money back.
Yeah, that's right. We pay for ourselves over and over.
You're
Did
such
you-
a you're
did you
such a
get-
capitalist, Jay.
Did you guys submit a budget?
No,
Is that what all that
How do you
paperwork
get
was I
away
got?
with that?
It's
We
two
don't.
thousand bucks. I mean, it's
I get-
$1,000.
Conservation's 2,000 and I still have to fill out the paperwork and go sit in front of FinCom and justify my $2,000 every year.
I keep mailing all that
They
stuff
like
to Tom.
Tim, that's why.
yeah, right.
They let him skate. That's why we keep sending them.
I don't know how it's going to work this time.
You'll work your magic.
I don't know. They haven't got a handle on exactly how much the school's going to want. I talked
No,
to
but-
Scott the other day. He said last year his approach was, let's cut everything and let people argue in favor of adding funds to different line items
Mhm.
or protecting the. And then he said this year his feeling is ask for what people want and let town meeting beat the
Sort
numbers
of.
up and let people defend their position.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he thought, we'll try it this way this time. You're never going to satisfy everybody either. It's too
Sure.
much or it's too little. So, but he said that might get more interest at town meeting. Of course, there were a hell of a lot of people at the special, which was interesting.
Yeah.
That was a lot of people for a special.
I know.
It wa-
What was it?
it
What
was.
was it that drew them? I'm trying to remember.
Isn't it the school budget?
No, that's not at the
No.
special.
The special.
I feel like there was
Yeah,
something
what was-
on that.
Fast food restaurants.
Oh, I think so.
I mean, I think that
that's
drew
why
some.
people came. No,
Yeah, I do.
really? Hmm.
Well, it wasn't
Drive
much else.
the drive-through stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
Because
I will.
Fed Stone really beat the jungle drums to get people in on that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Um, and I'll update you real quick. I talked to Meredith and I said, are we behind on our obligations to the mall? And she said, um, CIP, Commercial Industrial Properties, hasn't secured Penny's or Sears. They're tight in negotiations with both of them. And it was, I think it's still unclear what Macy's plans are. Um, so she said they really aren't secure in explaining what it is that they would want entirely. They did ask, as we know, Marlboro to allow more uses by right, which Marlboro said, you know, this is New England and special permit for certain uses is probably going to stay on the table. And the city council would probably want to continue that way. So be prepared for a lot of the uses that they'd want to include in their wish list to remain in the special permit category, which is good news for us. I said, as the city council started to talk, and she said no, and I said, so we're not holding things up, and she said, no, you're not holding things up, you're fine. So,
All right,
Good. Yeah, until
more to come.
Yeah.
until they give us a list,
Yeah.
there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
I think they really want to look at the list that we've already digested a couple times, and there are certain uses on that, like warehousing and big apartment complexes and stuff that we've said that we probably couldn't get that through town meeting, but a lot of the other uses.
And those things are largely consistent with Marlboro's
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
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 And
So
we have, we have the agreement to consult with each other, which we actually didn't really have with the original Solomon Pound Mall. So
Yeah. So I think when the time comes, we'll have to do some heavy lifting, but we can't do really anything at this point. So.
Yep.
And she said she'd keep us informed, so if something picks up, she'd let us know. So
it's great.
I said we're really happy that she's been there in that position for 9 years. I said
Wow.
having you do what you do and know how to work with these different proponents makes it a hell of a lot easier for us, because I think we have a lot of confidence in her, and I think she respects Berlin's position as much as she possibly can. So
Yeah. And she was a supporter of the agreement between the city and the town to address this. So
yeah.
it created the structure to do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think we're all right with that. That's my update on that one. The rewrite of the zoning bylaw, the EEA money runs out the end of June. Ron's working with housing, and Richard's leaving the 1st of April, so his contribution may be somewhat limited. But I think he's got some feedback that he's willing to share. I mean, Jay talks to him now and then about stuff, and I do, so.
Yeah, he's got some opinions on affordable housing that'd be nice to capture.
Yeah.
Hard to get him to come to a meeting at night, though.
Even a Zoom meeting?
I've tried a couple times. He's a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
might be able to drag him in. He made one comment to me that I thought was interesting, and I think we might want to pursue it with him. He's, a lot of these special permits for home-based contracting and some of the apartments are on a 5-year cycle. And we discussed a number of them are coming up, and I said it might be easy for him to write that letter and then disappear.
Hmm.
And then the new building inspector is just doing what was already put in motion by Richard. So I may bring that up with him again.
That seems wise. Yeah.
Because it takes the heat off of the new person. They're just saying, look, clearly my predecessor put these things in motion, and I just need to follow up. So then he's not the one that's writing those letters the first day he shows up.
Right.
Well, are we still planning on having a shared building commissioner?
Um,
I heard a rumor to that effect,
They
right?
were talking about that, but when I talked to Scott the other day, he said that it was getting complicated.
So,
There
Although
was,
when I talked to Lisa, it sounded like there were possibilities. So I think that's still in flux.
right, there was some conversation about that at the
Last
select
night?
board meeting last night. And I guess they had asked Kristen to look into kind of two different tracks, hiring somebody just for us and participating in a regional. And there seems like maybe there was some confusion and it seems like she did not pursue the regionalization of that position.
oh,
And so Scott thought that that was dead in the water. But there have already been some applicants. I think they said 4,
Right.
and 2 of those were people they considered qualified.
Yeah.
But now maybe they're also going to look at regionalization. I don't know. There was some back and forth about it, though.
Yeah.
hmm.
So
Maybe I should have a chat with her about that.
to be
I'm a little
determined.
concerned about the regionalization idea. Because there's a fair amount of
Because
work, and timeliness makes a big difference to people
Yeah.
who are trying to build affordable housing for everybody.
Yep.
You
Or
know,
any project. I mean, if
Yeah.
this mall thing comes in and you're working on a regional contract, I mean, how do you ramp up the type of building inspection that would be necessary? Now, when we did Solomon Pond, we, with the developer, agreed that a third party would be hired to support the building inspector from the town.
Yeah.
And they did the inspections, and then our building inspector walked around and just signed based
Yeah.
on the
And
recommendation.
I would expect, again, very early in the process, but many of those aspects of what we negotiated on Solomon Pound Wall we're going to put on the table.
Yeah. Because otherwise you get blown out of the water with a project that scale and
No,
that,
and again, the way we sold that to Solomon Pound Wall is, do you want this to take 3 years or do you want this to take 6 months? That
right.
yeah, they saw the writing on the wall pretty quick, right?
yeah,
Yeah. They were happy to pay.
yeah,
And we ended up hiring the guy that wrote the code, the building code, right? I mean, he
yeah.
was, yeah. So
Really?
yeah, he was good to have. And the building inspectors in town certainly appreciated being able to walk around with a clipboard and say, okay, sign this, sign this, sign this.
Yeah, I mean, those are the administrative aspects that we will get into in sort of stage 2 after we get through stage 1, which is you know, what the scope is of uses that they're proposing. Yeah.
Yeah. Super.
All right.
You want a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I would love that because I have to go to Boston tomorrow morning. And thank you for the weather report, Timothy. I think I'm going to have to brush snow off my car before I leave at 5:30. So,
Yeah, I'm looking, the town truck just went up spreading something.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
just starting to snow when I got home from work.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it may be an inch, I guess.
Mm.
yeah.
No, that's right. Just like,
Just
Enough to
freshen
Yeah,
it up.
Jay, why don't you just sleep there tonight?
Because I got 2 visitors coming at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
oh, so you
Yeah.
have to drive back to Berlin tonight?
Yeah, these guys are coming in from Maine. We got a meeting, and
I think
Yeah.
we've got another positive vote for adjourning the meeting then.
All right.
Yeah.
I've learned
It-
I got a whole new outlook on October, November. I'm not doing the 4 in the morning thing anymore after my incident with the
Yeah, right.
Good
Well,
point.
be
Hunter.
careful it's going to be snowing your whole ride home, so
was it really
Be careful. Yeah.
or just stay there and leave at 6 a.m.
Then I hit a lot of traffic going down into Boston.
Yeah.
Down 93. Is that 7 or 8 times we've had to plow in the first 2 months in the last 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been a more normal winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, according to my weather app, it's supposed to stop snowing around midnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if this polar vortex thing comes back next year, I'm moving
All right.
somewhere
I
else.
just want to say that if there's any evidence that the tariffs don't work, it is the amount of cold air that Canada is exporting to the US.
right? For free. They're
For
exporting it
free,
free.
totally without tariffs. All right.
I thought somehow the government made this happen so we would think that global warming was a hoax.
Hoax.
Yeah.
Well, they do control the weather, you know.
That's what I've heard.
All righty.
All right, I second the motion to adjourn.
All right, it's non-debatable. Let's vote on it. Carl McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Hi.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Bye.
Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous.